Welcome to Key to Ease English program. Hope you remember in the last class we were discussing scholarship jacket, the first 4 paragraph, and we heard that one. Martha, when she was about to go back to her classroom to pick her PE shorts, she heard some argument, some shouts from her classroom. There we have stopped, and I have given you 4 questions to answer, and you have very well answered it and sent to me. Thank you so much. And the remaining part we are going to deal. And what happened to her? What was the argument? Who were the teachers involved in that one? And what was her response, and everything we are going to learn now. Be with me. Listen to it. I was almost back at my classroom door when I heard voices raised in anger as if in some sort of argument. So when she reached in front of the classroom, she heard a raised sound, ഉച്ചത്തിലുള്ള സംസാരം. And like an argument, people are arguing each other. Niyano, nyanano, that argument is there. I stopped. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. Eavesdrop means without permission, listening to somebody's conversation. Without the permission, if we are just listening their conversation, hidingly, that's known as eavesdropping. I don't want to do that because she is very gentle. I just hesitated, not knowing what to do. I need those shorts. What shorts? That PE shorts she need. And I was going to be late. We're in the PE classroom. But I didn't want to interrupt in their talk. Means an argument between my teachers. We know who are the teachers, Mr. Boone and Smith. I recognized the voices. Mr. Smith, this is pronounced as Smith, my history teacher, and Mr. Boone, my math teacher. They seem to be arguing about me. They are arguing about me, arguing about Martha. I couldn't believe it. Why these teachers are arguing about me? I cannot believe. I still remember the feeling of shock that rooted me flat against the wall, as if I were trying to blend me in with the graffiti written there. With the shock, what I have done, I just pressed myself towards the wall, classroom wall, and as if ഞാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്ന പോലെ എന്തുപോലെ I was blending to the graffiti. Graffiti means ആ ചുമരിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ എഴുതി വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ. സാധാരണയായിട്ട് സ്കൂൾ ചുമരിൻ്റെ മുകളിലൊക്കെ അത് ഇത് ലവിൻ്റെ ചിഹ്നമൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവൂലേ. The things written on the wall or a screen, we are calling it as graffiti. ആ ഗ്രാഫിറ്റിയിലേക്ക് ബ്ലെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്ന പോലെ മനോഹരമായൊരു ഭാവനയാണ് ഈ സാധനം. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എക്സജറേറ്റഡ് വേർഷൻ ഓഫ് ഭാവനയാണ്, അതിശയോക്തിയാണ്. ഞാൻ മണ്ണിലേക്ക് അലിഞ്ഞു പോയെങ്കിൽ, സീതാദേവിയുടെ കഥയുണ്ട്, മണ്ണിലേക്ക് അലിഞ്ഞില്ലാതായി പോയി എന്നുള്ളത്. അതൊക്കെ സാഹിത്യങ്ങളിലെ എക്സജറേഷണൽ എക്സാമ്പിളാണ്. As if I were trying to blend in the graffiti written there. ചുമരിൽ എഴുതപ്പെട്ട എഴുത്തുകളിലേക്ക് എന്നെ അലിഞ്ഞില്ലാതായി പോകാൻ ഞാൻ ആഗ്രഹിച്ചു. What made into the shock rooted me flat against the wall. It's a wonderful paragraph. I refuse to do it. I don't care who her father is. Somebody is telling. I refuse to do this. I will not do it. I refuse to do it. I will not do it. I don't care who her father is. Whoever his father is, I don't care. Her grades don't even begin to compare to Martha's. Her grades means marks, A, B, C, that grades, don't even begin to compare to Martha's. മാർത്തയുടെ ഗ്രേഡുമായി കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യാൻ പോലും പറ്റാത്ത രീതിയിലുള്ള കുറഞ്ഞ ഗ്രേഡാണ്. So I am not ready to accept. I won't lie for falsify records. ഒരിക്കലും I won't lie, I won't tell lie to falsify റെക്കോർഡ്സ് മാറ്റാൻ വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും കള്ളം പറയില്ല. Martha has a straight A+. One of the teachers is talking this one. Average, and you know it. That was Smith, and he sounded very angry. So Smith is advocating for Martha, and that means naturally Boone is against Martha. This is a condition we got now. Up to this paragraph we got the idea that Mr. Smith, her history teacher, is supporting Martha, and she is advocating for Martha. She is telling her she is not ready to falsify records, she will never lie, and she never care about who her father is, opponent's father. That was Mr. Smith, and he sounded very angry. Smith is very. Mr. Boone's voice sounded calm and quiet. Look, Joanne's father is not only on the board, he owns the only store in town. We could say it was a close tie. And so Smith is telling, see, look, John's father is not only on the board. Board means school board committee. He's a member of managing committee. Not only that one, he owns the only store in town. He is having a store in town. So you may get some prizes from the shop. We could say it was a close tie. And she was trying to continue her talk. So Mr. Boone is against Martha, and Mr. Smith is supporting Martha. So they are arguing for the topic is Martha itself, and one is telling Martha is high grade and better student, and Boone is advocating for Joanne, another student. What is the qualification Joanne is having? Joanne is having, her father is a board member of the school committee, and he is having a store in town, like that. That's qualification. And what are the qualifications of Martha? Martha is a straight A grade student. Tell me who should get? Really, Martha should get. So we are passing on to 6th paragraph. The pounding in my ears drowned out the rest of the words. Only a word here and there filtered through. So from this loud argument, one word just, my ears drowned in that one. ഒരു മുഴക്കം പോലെ ആ ശബ്ദം ഇപ്പോഴും എന്നെ അലട്ടിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. What is that sound? Martha is a Mexican. Resign. Won't do it. It is Smith's opinion. What is Boone's opinion? Martha is a Mexican. Mexican-American conflict is there. Mexicans are considered as secondary citizens. Secondary citizens means, for example, India, for example, Kerala itself. If somebody comes for a job from outside Kerala, we consider them Bengalis. Like that way we just address them. Secondary citizenship is there. And if you go into Gulf countries, there you can see. And Arabs and Indians. Among Indians we'll say Malabaris. Like that. So secondary, so the degradation qualities mentioned there. Martha is a Mexican. So she should not get it. That's an insult. That's a racial discrimination. And that too happening in school. You just think of it. Martha is a Mexican. Resign and won't do it. That means I will resign my job. And I won't do it. So this will be the opinion of Martha will, as a Mexican, will be the opinion of Mr. Boone, and resign and won't do it will be the response of Smith. Mr. Smith came rushing out and luckily for me went down the opposite way towards the auditorium. So ദേഷ്യം പിടിച്ച് ചർച്ചയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം ഇറങ്ങി തിരിച്ച് പുറത്തേക്ക് ഓടി സ്മിത്ത്. Came rushing out and luckily for me went down the opposite way towards the auditorium. So when I am standing in front of my classroom, അവിടേക്ക് വന്നില്ല, നേരെ തിരിച്ചയാൾ അങ്ങോട്ട് പോയി. So he didn't see me. Shaking, I waited a few minutes and then went in and grabbed my bag and fled from the room. Shaking means ധരിച്ചു പോവുക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞെട്ടിപ്പോവുക. After listening to this one, my teachers are considering me as a Mexican. Like that. She was shocked. I waited for a few minutes and then went in and grabbed my bag and fled. Fled means I just flee. I just escaped from that location, from the classroom, from the room. Mr. Boone looked up when I came in, but didn't say anything. When I entered the classroom, Mr. Boone looked up when I came in, but didn't say anything. To this day, I don't remember if I got in trouble in PE for being late or how I made it through the rest of the afternoon. To this day, I don't remember if I got in trouble in PE for being late or how I made it through the rest of the afternoon. So I don't remember what happened when I just came late in the classroom, because I was completely confused and tensed. I don't remember what really happened in the classroom when I arrived late in the classroom for PE, physical education. I went home very sad and cried into my pillow. Some beautiful expression, cried into my pillow. Pillow means തലയണ. തലയണയിലേക്ക് കരഞ്ഞു ഞാൻ. Why? She don't want to show it to anyone. She doesn't want to show her cry to anyone. When we are having deep sorrow, we don't want to show it to anyone. We'll cry into my pillow. The night so grandmother wouldn't hear me. If I'm crying loudly, definitely grandmother will ask, hey, what happened? So I don't want to make her ask anything. I don't want to make her know. I don't want to tell her also. So I cried into my pillow. തലയിണ അമർത്തിപ്പിടിച്ച് കരഞ്ഞു, മുഖം പൂഴ്ത്തി കരഞ്ഞു എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞു. Into this expression you have to keep, cried into. cried into my pillow. So we are passing on to 7th paragraph number 7. It seemed a cruel coincidence. That I had overheard that conversation. I overheard that conversation, and the next day when the principal called me into his office, I knew what it would be about. What were the coincidence? What is the meaning of coincidence? Two things happening together, not one after another. That is, ഒന്നും സംഭവിക്കുക. That is, she overheard the conversation between two teachers, and the principal called her to the office. These two are coincidences. And if she doesn't overhear the conversation, she will not know why this principal is calling me. But now she knows that why the principal is calling me. And he wanted to say something. It would be, now I knew what it would be about. He looked uncomfortable and unhappy. He looked uncomfortable and unhappy. Who? The principal. I decided I wasn't going to make it easier for him. What is the it here? I decided I wasn't going to make it any easier for him. It, what is the it here? I won't permit him to deny the scholarship for me. On any reason I will fight. ഞാനത് സമ്മതിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല. അത്ര എളുപ്പത്തിൽ കാര്യം നടത്താൻ സമ്മതിക്കില്ല. അത് നടത്താൻ ഞാൻ സമ്മതിക്കില്ല. അതെന്താണ് ആ സ്കോളർഷിപ്പ് കിട്ടുക എന്നുള്ളത്. So I looked him straight in the eyes. So I looked him, the principal, straight in his eyes. I looked straight at his eyes. He looked away and fidgeted with the papers on his desk. He looked away and fidgeted. Fidget means nervous ആകുന്ന സമയത്ത് കയ്യും കാലും തിരുമ്പുക, അത് ചെയ്യുക, ഇത് ചെയ്യുക, കൈ കൊണ്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ കൈ തിരുമ്പുക, കൈ മടക്കി വെക്കുക, കൈ ബാക്ക് കെട്ടുക, അല്ലെ കാലുകൊണ്ട് അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും ആട്ടിക്കളിക്കുക. ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് ഫിഡ്ജറ്റിംഗ് മീൻസ്. വിത്ത് ദ പേപ്പേഴ്സ് on his desk. So he was doing all the paper ലെവലാക്കി വെക്കുന്നു, മടക്കി വെക്കുന്നു, നൂർത്തി വെക്കുന്നു. So he was fidgeting with the papers. And that means he's nervous. Okay? Wasn't going to make it any easier for him. So I looked him straight in the eyes. He looked away and fidgeted with the papers on his desk. Martha, he said, there has been a change in policy this year regarding the scholarship jacket. Principal said, as you know, it has always been free. Martha, ഈ വർഷം മാറ്റമുണ്ട് സ്കോളർഷിപ്പിന്റെ പോളിസിയിൽ. നമുക്കറിയാമല്ലോ, എല്ലാ വർഷവും എന്താണ്, ഇറ്റ് വാസ് ഗിവൺ ഫ്രീ. ഹി ക്ലിയർഡ് ഹിസ് ത്രോട്ട്. കളത്തം പറയുമുണ്ടാകുമോ? And continued, this year the board has decided to change $15, which still won't cover the complete cost of the jacket. ഈ ജാക്കറ്റിന്റെ കോസ്റ്റ് എന്നാലും തികയില്ല. എന്നാലും $15 one should pay to get this scholarship jacket. So we got the idea. It was a plan by Mr. Boone. Martha, he said, there has been a change in the policy this year regarding the scholarship jacket. As you know, it has been always been free. He cleared his throat. And this year, the board has decided to change charge $15, which still won't cover the complete cost of the jacket. So what is the policy change? Earlier it was given free, now they are going to charge $15. That is the policy change. Hope you got this idea. Now I stared at him in shock. I stared, looked straight without any winking. I stared at his eyes. കണ്ണിലേക്ക് നോക്കി. And a small sound of dismay, that dismay sound she made, escaped my throat. I hadn't expected this. He still avoided looking in my eyes. I looked straight at his eyes, but he was still not looking, because he know that what he was doing is not correct. അയാളിപ്പോൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന കാര്യം ശരിയല്ല എന്ന് അയാൾക്ക് തന്നെ അറിയാം. That's why the principal is not looking at the eyes of the girl, Martha. Next one is, if you are unable to pay the $15 for the jacket, it will be given to the next one in the line. I didn't need to ask who that was. So Martha will be in trouble. So if you are unable to pay the $15, $15 അടയ്ക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല എങ്കിൽ, it will be given to the next one in the line, next one in the queue. I didn't need to ask who that was. ആരാന്നുള്ള പറയേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ലല്ലോ. Paragraph number 9. Standing with all the dignity I could muster, I said. Standing with all the dignity I could muster, I'll speak to my grandfather about it, sir, and let you know tomorrow. I cried on the walk home from the bus stop. The dirt road was quarter-mile from the highway, so by the time I got home, my eyes were red and puffy. See, the narrative style you have to appreciate here. Standing with the dignity, standing with all the dignity I could muster, I could possess, എല്ലാ മാന്യതയും വെച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ സംസാരിച്ചു. I'll speak to my grandfather about it, sir. ഞാൻ ഗ്രാൻഡ്ഫാദറോട് പറയാം. And let you know tomorrow. I will let you know that tomorrow what is the result. I cried on the walk home from bus stop. വഴിയിൽ മുഴുവൻ ഞാൻ കരഞ്ഞു. The dirt road was quarter-mile from highway. So by the time I got home, my eyes were red and puffy. So after quarter-mile walk, her eyes were red and puffy. She was crying all the way. Where is Grandpa? I asked Grandma. Looking down the floor so she wouldn't ask me why I had been crying, she was sewing on a quilt as usual and don't look up. That is, I asked, where is Grandpa? To whom she asked, Grandma. Looking down at the floor so she wouldn't ask me why I have been crying, I looked down. താഴോട്ട് നോക്കി സംസാരിച്ചു. ഗ്രാൻഡ്മയുടെ മുഖത്ത് നോക്കിയില്ല. Why? When if she is looking at Grandma's face, she will understand her granddaughter has cried or had cried. കരഞ്ഞിരുന്നു മനസ്സിലാവൂലേ? അത് ഒഴിവാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി താഴോട്ട് നോക്കി. She was sewing a quilt as usual and didn't look up. She was sewing a quilt. ടൈം കളയാൻ വേണ്ടി എന്ത് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്? ഒരു പൂ തുന്നിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക, കിൽറ്റിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ തുന്നിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. താഴോട്ട് നോക്കി. So she didn't notice eyes of our granddaughter. I think he's out back working in the bean field. So he's a farmer and he's working in the bean field. And paragraph 10. I went outside and looked out at the fields. There he was. I could see him walking between the rows, his body bent over the little plants. Hoe in hand, I walked slowly out to him, trying to think how I could best ask him for the money. There was a cool breeze blowing and a sweet smell of mesquite fruit in the air, but I didn't appreciate it. I kicked that dirt cold. I wanted that jacket so much. It was more than just being valedictorian and giving a little thank you speech for the Jack on graduation night. It represented 8 years hard work and expectation. Here comes the wonderful paragraph number 10. As jersey number 10, it's a wonderful paragraph. Here she was searching for grandfather, and there he was. He's there. She found. And after that, the narrator is explaining the scene wonderfully. With visual, auditory, tactile and all images. I could see him walking between the rows. Beans in the row. His body bent over the little plants. He's bending down. Hoe in hand. Hoe is a tool used to remove weeds and all these things. Hoe in hand. Walked slowly out to him, trying to think how I could best ask him for the money. So when I saw him, I was thinking, how best I can ask. എത്ര ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് ഈ കാര്യം എനിക്ക് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും ഗ്രാൻഡ് ഫാദറിന് മുമ്പിൽ. $15 വേണമെന്നുള്ള ആവശ്യം നമുക്കല്ല. വി ഓൾ ഹാവ് ദീസ് സോർട്ട് ഓഫ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്. എക്സ്കർഷന് പോകാൻ വേണ്ടി പൈസക്ക് ചോദിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ നല്ല സമയം കാത്തു വെച്ച് മെല്ലെ മെല്ലെ സോപ്പിട്ട് കൊണ്ടാണ് ചോദിക്കുക. ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ്. I walked slowly to him, trying to think how I could best ask him for the money. There was a cool breeze blowing and a sweet smell of mesquite fruit in the air. There was a cool breeze blowing and a sweet smell of mesquite fruit in the air. See how wonderfully the narrator brought in the natural into the screen. She's telling a cool breeze blowing and sweet smell of mosquito, an olfactory image. ഒരു മെസ്ക്വീറ്റ് ഫ്രൂട്ടിൻ്റെ മണം, അതായത് ലെമൺ, ഒരു ലെഗുമിനേസിയ വർഗത്തിൽപ്പെട്ട പാരവർഗത്തിൽപ്പെട്ട ഒരു ഫ്രൂട്ടിൻ്റെ സ്മെല്ല് അവിടെ വ്യാപിച്ചു. ബട്ട് ഐ ഡിഡ്ന്റ് അപ്രീഷിയേറ്റ് ഇറ്റ്. വൈ? ഷീ ഈസ് ടെൻസ്ഡ്. She is worried about how to get money, $15. Why? Again, I kicked a dirt cold. Because നമുക്കെല്ലാം ഉണ്ട്, നമ്മൾ ദേഷ്യം പിടിച്ച് താഴെ ചെളിക്കട്ടൊക്കെ ചവിട്ടി തെറിപ്പിച്ചിട്ട് നമ്മൾ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുക. ഒരു ഡേർട്ട് കോൾഡ് മീൻസ് ഒരു ഉഴുതിട്ട മണ്ണിലെ കട്ടയാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് അവിടെ. I wanted the jacket so much. That's why I couldn't appreciate it. That's why I kicked at the dirt cold. That's why I was tensed. I wanted the jacket so much. I'm longing for the jacket. I was more than just being a valedictorian. It is not to become a valedictorian. Class is smart and giving a little thank you speech for the jacket on graduation night. Graduation night speech. It represented 8 years of hard work and expectation. കഴിഞ്ഞ 8 വർഷമായിട്ടുള്ള
ഹാർഡ് വർക്കിൻ്റെയും പ്രതീക്ഷ എക്സ്പെക്റ്റേഷൻ്റെയും കാരണമാണത്. ഒരു ഈ ജാക്കറ്റ് കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയോ പ്രസംഗിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയോ മിടുക്കന 8 വർഷമായി ശ്രമിക്കുന്നു. I knew I had to be honest with Grandpa. I must be honest to Grandpa. There is no way. Grandpa is a wonderful. It was my only chance. Because if he is not giving, if I am going back to my father's, he won't give. The reason is father is very poor. He saw my shadow and looked up. That's a wonderful scene. That is when this girl is standing behind, the shadow will come in front of the person. He saw the shadow and identify. Oh, he turned back and looked up.
Hope you have enjoyed this lesson up to 10th paragraph we have described. Now here are some questions for you. Questions are the textbook 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. You have to answer. And we have discussed that one. You just listen to the video once again and try to answer those questions. Thank you.